Hello there, geometry students. So this is going to be a mini lesson focusing on solving for the letter x or any variable in an equation. I'm going to keep it really simple, but you probably have heard this before, especially if you were in Miss Love's Algebra 1 class, because with geometry, you're going to learn that we use a lot of algebraic concepts. So if we don't get the algebra right, we will not get the geometry correct for the year. So I want to first focus on what is an equation, and I love using Math is Fun. So by the way, if you ever need like tutorials with Math is Fun, it's an excellent resource. But I'm going to go through these notes with you guys. And so what is an equation? An equation says that two things are equal. It will have an equal sign like this. So x minus 2 equals 4. That equation says what is on the left, which is x minus 2, and it is equal to what is on the right, which is the number 4. So an equation is like a statement. This equals that. Okay, so, and you can even talk about it without numbers, like a statement, an equation still could be Miss Delka equals teacher, or U equals student. So even in like terms like that to better understand it. So then what we're trying to do is solve for x in any equation. And so we need to know what a solution is. And a solution is a value we can put in place of a variable, such as the letter x, that makes the equation true. Even my own children are learning this right now in their math classes of they're missing this number to make the math statement true. So the example they gave was x minus 2 equals 4, which is what was above. And it says when we put 6 in place of x, we get 6 minus 2 equals 4. And that is true. You know, take 6 fingers, take 2 away, you have 4 left. So x is equal to 6 as a solution. How about other values for x? 5. So for x equals 5, we get 5 minus 2 equals 4. Well, we know that's not true. 5 minus 2 actually equals 3. And because of that, it makes the statement not true, and x equals 5 is not a solution. They did the same with the number 9. 9 minus 2 equals 4. We know 9 minus 2 is 7, which 7 is obviously not equal to 4. So that makes the equation not true, and x equals 9 is not a solution. So again, if you're like struggling with this concept, it's okay. I have a lot of students that struggle. Just ask for tutorials. I don't mind helping at all. So as you're going through, and there's like some animated equations, so if you go to this exact web address, you could do those. We are not going to get involved in having more than one solution right now, because right now I just need to get you through one step. And so like all this right here, yeah, that's just not something we're going to focus on. But then it says how to solve an equation. There is no one perfect way to solve all equations, but we often get success when our goal is to end up with something like this. And it says x equals something. And it can be wrong, and that's okay. I'd rather it be wrong than you not try at all. So in other words, we want to move everything except your x, or whatever the name of the variable has, over to the right-hand side. An example here, it says solve 3x minus 6 equals 9. We want to move all those numbers over to the other side, to the right, and leave x on its own. So they say, okay, start with 3x minus 6 equals 9. In order to get rid of the 6, we have to do the opposite. And so what they did is they took this away and they added the 6 over to this side. So the opposite of subtract would be to add. 9 plus 6 is 15. And then here, we want to get rid of that 3. Well, right now the 3 is sitting directly beside the x, which means that it's multiplying to the x. And so the opposite of multiplication is division. So they divided the 3 on the other side. And so 15 divided by 3 is a short calculation, and 15 divided by 3 gets you 5. So the solution is x equals 5. I know that seems fast, and so if it's very confusing to you, it's okay. Again, contact me. I'm here all week to help you out. And so I want you guys to be thinking of solving an equation is like solving a puzzle. And like puzzles, there are things we can and cannot do. So I want to just make you fully aware. When you were 3 or 4, you were handed a puzzle that maybe had 3 or 4 pieces in it, and you were told to put it together. As you progressed, your teachers gave you 10-piece puzzles or 20-piece puzzles. But before they gave you just a 100-piece puzzle, they had to make sure you knew how to do that 4-piece, 5-piece, 10-piece, and 20-piece first. It is the same thing with equations. We have to make sure that you know how to solve a simple x equation before we add multiple things in it. So just all of these as notes. We'll go through all this later on, especially factoring and things like that. But for now, just know that I just want to see you solve the 3 or 4 piece puzzle before we move on to these more complicated equations that we're going to need for geometry. So if you have questions, again, just go ahead and email me. I'm ready to see you guys in person starting next week. And if you have questions, again, just email or message me through Canvas. Thank you.